Okay, let's try that again. What is up, guys? Welcome. My microphone today has decided to be max powers, super high volume. So we have adjusted to compensate. Welcome. So Raiden66 said, sorry guys, I've come here to brag that I participate in the Pokemon Go field tests in Japan, and it is not that exciting. No! Pokemon Go could have been so good. What's not exciting about it? Come on, if there's any IP out there, they've got the money to pull it off. You guys had best be joking right now. You guys had best be joking about the whole microphone being too loud. For everyone watching on the VOD, we just had like a botched stream that was about 2 seconds long, in which I blew everyone's ears off with my mic. So we've just redone it. Today's the first day, guys. I hope you're all doing good. I just had some tuna, sweet corn, mayonnaise, bit of salt, bit of pepper. Perfect on a jack potato. I refrained from the jack potato though. You know, cannibalism and all that. Alright, what do I want to do here? But I hope you guys are all having a good lunch. Now, a couple of things to talk about. Number one, just sort of vaguely related. There we go. It was the wrong one, which is kind of weird. Vaguely related to stuff I've talked about in the stream. I talked to you guys about another way I was going to try and like go about my day to day, right? Which affected the stream schedule ever so slightly. What I was doing, ever since I've started streaming, just want to talk to you guys a little bit. For anyone who's thinking of becoming a sole trader, going self-employed or whatever, like you know, being their own boss. A couple of things to learn. I've slowly been learning about motivation, about allocating time. This might sound boring, but it's pretty interesting, right? So ever since I started streaming, obviously I do more work in the day now because I stream each day. So that it's like do a YouTube video, do a Let's Play video, do a Visual Wood video, and do a stream 4 days a week. So there's more going on in the day. So I kind of, when I first decided to start streaming, I kind of just did this. I looked at my clock and I was like, yeah, I got X amount of hours available. I can totally do that. That's fine. We'll see how it goes. Actually, I always said to you guys, we'll see how it goes, and we'll refrain. We'll pull it in as we go. But you know, you see that you have hours on the clock, and you think, right, I'll just use those hours. It makes sense. And what I decided to do when I started was I was like, right, everyone's gonna want some structure. So what I'll do is I'll set an alarm for a dedicated time every day. I want to be doing something right now, by the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a daily, and we'll talk about our daily soon enough, but we're going to do our daily for gold, because the new gold rewards are absolutely awesome. We'll talk about more of the other stuff in a second. So what we're going to pick? We're going to pick, not Fire Heart Rock, we're going to get an Ore Vista, we're going to get Maguma Wastes, trees, and we're going to do, we're going to do PvP rank points. Maybe. Or PvP unranked matches played. So all we have to do is a single unranked. So on Pole Dropper, we're going to do this. Alright? Because it's daily. Because let's do it. Alright, so first let's go Ore and get a Vista. Alright, so I identify I have some hours in my day. I'm like, I want to start streaming. So I decide to allocate myself a certain time every day that I do it. Now the way that I did it was I chose to wake up in the morning, and immediately when I wake up in the morning, stream with you guys. Boom. Easy. And then the idea is to, when I finish streaming, then do a video afterwards, and everything will be hunky-dory and fine. But what I've found over the 8 months we've been doing this now, what I have found is most days, not every day, but most days. Some days I have a particularly high spike of energy and I'm okay. But most days, I come on here, I chat with you guys. Streams are pretty, you know, they're pretty casual, they're pretty laid back, they're pretty relaxed. But I find that after 2 hours of constantly talking and, you know, flaring my mind on all these different topics about the game and having conversation with you guys and stuff like that, I come, as chill as it's been, out of those streams, sort of low energy. And so the plan is to make a Guild Wars 2 video straight away, but I find that, like, because I've been talking about stuff on the stream, especially if the video's on the same topic as the stream, I come out of it, like, motivation for that video afterwards is low, really low, and making a video is more effort than doing a single stream. So then that's been like making videos wobbly, far more wobbly than they have to be. And every day this has happened for 8 months. Every day this has happened for 8 months. And I've just kind of got to the end of the day and thought to myself, what are potatoes? You're just being lazy. You're just being... You have the time there. You need to pull your finger out. You need to do the work. You need to put in the effort. And I've always gone to bed with... You know, it's not that we've not had a video for 8 months. You guys know that fact, right? But I've always gone to bed at the end of that day with sort of a vague sense of not being as accomplished as I could have. I didn't finish the work as quickly as I could have. I didn't roll into it as quickly as I could have. And when you are self-employed, when you are your own boss, when there is no well-defined moment of my day started here and my day ended here, when there is no concept of a weekend or a holiday, which I don't get and I can't afford to give myself, when you live in that kind of life, that's an interesting thing to struggle with. You know, people with careers where they work a 9 to 5 or something, they kind of, after 5 o'clock, they get to draw a line under the day, and then they just get to choose how they spend their leisure time, and that's it. But it's a different balancing act if you work for yourself. So 8 months I've done this. 8 months I've had this vague sense of I could have done more. But I kind of changed my perspective 2 weeks ago. I think it was about 2 weeks ago. I changed my perspective, and I decided to just accept something about myself. Instead of, you know, punishing myself, that's a bit of an extreme way of putting it. Instead of feeling sorry for myself and telling myself, oh, you should just push yourself harder, you know, and ignoring it. Instead of ignoring the fact that I'm low energy after the stream, I decided to tackle the problem differently. I just accepted enough time has passed, hey, maybe I just need to accept the fact that I get low energy after the stream, and maybe it's not a question of laziness, maybe it's a question of psychology, maybe it's a question of genuine energy levels, maybe it's a question of restructuring my day. So, about 2 weeks ago, I tried this out, and it's been very, very, very useful for me to identify this, because now what I've realized is if I change the schedule, I can squeeze everything in and everything's fine. Because what I've realized is if I wake up and instead of streaming first, right? Instead of the stream being the top priority and the main focus, what am I doing now? I just wanted a Vista, right? So we're going... Let's just do PvP. We might get both PvPs in one. So we're gonna queue. We're gonna set up a Condi build, and then we'll go in. Instead of berating myself, I just decided, right, I've accepted it as a fact that the low energy is there, and I swap things around. So now I wake up, ultra high energy, do a video. I've already done my video for today. Do the video, and I found about myself that if I do the video first, I'm perfectly happy to get on and do a stream with you guys. And that gap where I sit about, you know, doing vaguely productive things but not being as productive as I want to be, that gap's no longer there. So it's pretty interesting, actually, and it's been pretty cool. And it definitely has worked out. It's, like, seriously worked out. So that's just kind of, I don't know, that might be an interesting insight for some of you guys about, I don't know, like, tackling scheduling issues or whatever. Like, these are things you need to learn about yourself as you get older. These are the kind of things that I think project managers and it depends on the kind of line of work you're in. But people end up kind of learning about themselves. It's cool. It's cool to learn something about yourself and being able to, you know, change that take that knowledge that I've now learned to, you know, future hiccups I might have in the road. Because it might seem like my first instinct going through life. My first instinct is this. The guy that puts in the effort is the guy that comes out on top. So the noble... Let's do beta Champion's Dusk. Let's do this. Oh, I didn't set up any traits. Crap. Hold on. Skirmishing. Trapper's expertise. Hidden barbs. Not light on your feet. Quick jaw's fine. Oh, God. We can still do this. But the way I go through life is, my default assumption is the guy that puts in the effort, this is just laziness, and, you know, kind of, like, it's good that I'm hard on myself. That's kind of my opinion, usually. It's good if you're hard on yourself. If you're pushing yourself to put in more effort, if you're feeling bad at the end of the day, there's almost a part of me that's like, yeah, that's a good thing. It means that I'm pushing myself. But actually, I've come to find maybe that's a negative thing, right? Maybe being angry at... Not angry, it's too strong of a word. But, you know, maybe not being satisfied with myself at the end of every day and thinking that's good because thinking that's going to give me the motivation I need on future days is not the way to go forward. Because basically I was just trapping myself into this world where I was expecting too much of myself, right? And I was thinking and fixating on these every now and then, like I have like a ridiculous amount of energy and I can do like a lot in a day. But, you know, that's once in a blue moon. So, like, but what I was doing was I was thinking, those days exist sometimes. Can't you just do that every time? The mic still doesn't sound right. What's wrong with it? WP, your mic is turned way the F up. Well, look, the only thing I can imagine is... let's see here. This... needs to be minned. Did that change anything for you guys? No, it didn't, did it? I don't know why it's turned up so high. It's really high. Jesus Christ, you're loud. Too much gain. My ears. What are you talking about? What's going on? Why? Guys, you should see OBS right now. It's like, it's on 6% of its full volume. 6%. I can't do much better. Alright, we'll go there. I apologise for playing people's ears. We'll collect this reward in a second, guys. I do have stuff for them. Oh, here, look at these players. This is great. We must be, like, super low ranked, right? Like, you'd never see a thief doing that in a regular game. Right? I'm gonna trap over the body. Damn. Freaking Negro. Oh, I'm kind of interested to see, what did my friend do? What did that Gabriel guy do? And what's that Chuv guy doing? I think this is our first ever PvP game on this. Oh no, it's not our first ever. Oh yeah, it is! Stations where we go weapon swap bonfire. Should we try that? Oh here, look at these players. This is great. We must be like super low ranked, right? Like, you'd never see a thief doing that in a regular game. Right? I'm gonna trap over the body. Damn. Freaking Negro. Oh, I'm kind of interested to see, what did my friend do? What did that Gabriel guy do? And what's that Chuv guy doing? I think this is our first ever PvP game on this. Oh no, it's not our first ever. Oh yeah, it is! It is! This is our first ever PvP game. Wow. I do have another account, an EU account that has played PvP. Because I used to rank on it when I used to try and swap over to EU. That's pretty interesting. Why is the Gengar potato back? What happened to the nice clean potato? That's true. What did happen there? Why wouldn't it have saved? That should have saved. Sorry. We'll bring the Gengar potato. That's very insulting of you, by the way. We can bring Triangle Nose back. Where is he? There he is. There you go, guys. Triangle Nose. Sorry about that. You didn't set up my... Oh my god, I don't have an amulet equipped, really. Or runes or anything. Well, I guess I'm going to be on Treb or running supply this entire game. Should we go on Treb? I never really see people... I've never really ran Treb on this map. This map could be so cool. I have a lot of respect for Mighty Teapot. Putting out the streams and doing the content on Stronghold. It's like such a tiny little niche. And people need to know about it. Guild Wars 1 stream will be tomorrow. We're back to Nightfall tomorrow. But, you know, we got a lot of projects going on. What can I say? You know, everyone needs to get a little look in. Why does it say I resub for 1 month when I sub for the first time for 3? I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I apologise. I couldn't tell you. But anyway, yeah, so yeah, I did a video today. I picked no bones about it. Today's video is a pretty crappy, like, filler video, to be honest. It's, well, it's something I've wanted to talk about for a long time, but then I get enthused about things in Guild Wars 2 that most other people never would. You know, I can talk for 20 minutes about something fairly boring. Just try it out. You know, you guys in chat can give me anything you like in terms of that. So, for example, today's video is on the home instances. And home instances might sound really boring to you guys, but I think it's pretty cool. And they've done some updates to them. Oh, this guy's running Scepter, which of course has had its buffs. I hope you're all impressed by my godly dodge roll there. I'm 2v1, so I don't have to feel bad about getting slaughtered here. So here we want to double Viper's Nest, I guess. Because that guy's in the... Drop some evades, move away. Drop a flame trap, wait for him to come in. As he's obviously going to... Ah, throwing that torch was awesome. Oh, see, this is why illusions suck, man. That's so lame. They shouldn't be able to just pop all my traps. No, come to me. Oh, I feel so bad. These are like super new players. This is interesting. If you want any proof that matchmaking actually does something, I think it's in games like this right here. And obviously I'm getting owned. But I am outnumbered. Pretty majorly. Did I get the bee back? Asked Vinald. No, I didn't. I was a little bit deceptive to people yesterday. So for those who watch the streams, you might already know this. For those who watch the YouTube channel, you probably do. It was quite a well-viewed video. Yesterday on the stream, while we were scribing, in the middle of scribing like a million different things, because of a really, really unlucky, really specific string of events, I ended up deleting 1,600 gold. And it was pretty funny. It's a funny story. And I wanted to share it with people. As I typed out my support ticket at the end of the stream yesterday, like, there was a moment where I wrote about the queen monkey bee. It made me think of like the bee dogs from SAB. And I just thought, this is ridiculous. And I thought, as I was writing out, I was like, look, I'm having to describe a really specific scenario to this person here. Because I don't know whether someone at support actually plays the game to the point where they'd understand how, like, specific this little issue was. So I was, like, trying to type out as best I could, and I just thought, this is a farce. This is ludicrous. And it was when I wrote, like, referring to my queen bee lucky monkey backpack, I thought, this is actually kind of hilarious. This is really fun. So I just thought this support ticket is good enough for just a video. And you guys who know me quite well will know I've wanted to do that kind of concrete style storybook kind of. Oh, there you go. We're in their door now. I don't need to keep spamming stuff down. Or if I do, it's going to be archers. So we'll just head on over. Communing is going to become possible in 10 seconds. Should we get a hero? Or at least prevent them getting one in case our assault is waylaid. Let's go down. So yeah, I was like, I'll just read it out. You know, this is a Concrete Ducks video. This is what I want. Let's try it out. Let's give it a listen. And I made a video out of it. But I was kind of deceptive to people. See, I was a little bit scared of that video, that people would see it as me crying online about something negative that had happened to my account, and I'm just using my platform as a YouTuber with an audience as an excuse to bitch about it. Alright? Like, people do that kind of shit, and it pisses me off. It really winds me up. Every time I see, like, someone I'm subscribed to on YouTube does something remotely like it. Spike trap to CC him while he stealth stomps. Go for the pickup. He's already condied enough. Welcome to Guild Wars 2. The Heartseek spam! Oh, it's beautiful! It's beautiful! I love it! Chill him, because chill works so well on thieves. Oh my god, the Heartseek spam is getting in places. Pick him up. Maybe I should have... Alright, well, look, we got Chirai coming. Here we go. Let's hang with Chirai and defend him. Let's kill this guy. Scepterelli. It's nice in these off-season times where you see people actually trying stuff. So anyway, yeah, I was scared that the video was going to look like that. Like, really scared. I didn't want people thinking, oh, Winnie Potatoes is just bitching and using his audience to get a patch because ArenaNet wouldn't dare cross WP. So, you know, like, and I really, people would be quick to accuse me of that. So what I did was for people that don't know on YouTube, if the content creator leaves a comment, before anyone else on the video, and if you like thumb it up yourself as well and get a bit of a train on it, that comment is very likely to be thumbed up by everyone else who watches it, or a lot of other people who watch it, and it's going to have a lot of visibility. So you can use the comment section to add further clarifications to the video. So when I uploaded the video, as I posted it, I left a comment saying, look, this is support, or I said this, I said support already got back to me. Everything is all good. I just thought this was funny. Because that's genuinely why I wanted to do the video. Because I thought it was funny. And it's not because I wanted to, you know, kick up a huge fuss about it so that the devs would listen or blah, 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 blah. So, but I was deceptive because I said support got back to me. Everything's all good. I didn't lie. Support did get back to me. And they said that my ticket was in review. Okay? And everything is all good. Whether I get it or not, everything's good. It was a funny story. So I didn't lie, but I don't actually have the Queen Bee back yet. I don't have it. I don't have the Queen Bee back yet. I don't. But a lot of people will have read that comment and thought that I did get it back. In fact, I've had more than enough people saying to me, "Oh, they only returned it because you're wooden potatoes. Anyone, it's one rule for one. It's just because you're special." Blah 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 blah. Not realizing I haven't even got it back. But so yeah, I was deceptive. I was a bit cheeky in the comments there, but I think it was important to do. So yeah, on the stream a second ago, I was asked, did I get the bee back? No, I didn't get it back. Even if I don't, I'm not gonna bitch about it. It's done. Do you know what I mean? People know about the issue though, and it is what it is. Yeah, I'm getting owned. I'm genuinely getting owned. Mind you, I don't have a build. I don't have an amulet or anything on at all. So, quite apropos. How do you say that? Apropos? For my first ever PvP game, what do you say? Look, these guys are actually using archers. This is cool. Oh, no, you don't. I'm scared he's going to spike me, but he just wasted his Phoenix Dragon Tooth. Ah, he's on dagger offhand. Bro, what are you doing? Dodge the earthquake. Dodge the churning earth. Didn't they make that cast a little faster or something recently? What's Condi in me? Jesus Christ. Is he a Condi Ellie? He is a Condi Ellie. It's the new rock shards, isn't it? Oh my god, I want to play that. Oh, but we're doing 0 to hero. Oh. Maybe another day, I guess. Dude, and he killed me from downstate because his skill 3 uses bleeds. That's cool. I kind of feel like I shouldn't be defending here. Just let the game be over. Apropos is the S is silent. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the insights. We need to kill Ossa. I got boosted to legendary. Yeah, I paid for boosting. There's a Guild Wars 2 boosting guild. $50 per division. Only 200 bucks. It's scary. I just pulled that out of my ass, but seeing what people charge for like level boosting and stuff in BDO, and people only charge stuff when they get customers, right, at that value, I wouldn't be surprised that if Guild Wars 2 ever did get big enough in its PvP to have people offering that kind of stuff, I reckon you would see about 50 bucks for a division. WP, do you even French phrases? No. Nope. And I have no shame. Let's go on Treb. Like, for real, Treb is the only thing I'm going to feel like I can accomplish anything with. Plus, I need to learn how Treb works. I think our boss is on much lower health than theirs. Which means if this times out very soon, which it looks like it might, they win. Is that a good mid-Treb right there? Communing. Communing's on the other side of the map. Oh, no. We need to aim further. And maybe a little bit more to the right as well. Let's try from here. I'm just trying to get my coffee in me before it gets cold. I let every stream the coffee get super cold. Yeah, Trebuchet hit. I wasn't even looking at the screen. Looking at Twitch chat. Wack said the statue is officially called Beatrice. Wow. But yeah, I just scrolled up in the chat. So yeah, somebody said in the comments, WP said his Queen Bee was fixed. I actually didn't. I've deceived you, and I apologize. I said that support got back to me, which they did. My ticket's in review, and I said all was good. Anyway, hopefully I've explained why I did that. Look at this. This is crazy. Am I just taking a lot of damage because no amulet? I'm essentially playing like an assassin's build right now without any of the damage. Think of it that way. Oh, I'm getting a text. That could have been that shaman. He's been he's like the most productive person I know in the whole world. Majestic said, are you avoiding my interrogation? No, I would have missed it. Interrogate me again and I'll give you... I wasn't interested in delaying that. There was 2 players. Give it again. Give me your interrogation and I'll tell you what I think. Raid prices are kind of crazy. Yeah, but right, that's in-game gold. Yeah, everyone's like, oh, ArenaNet should add the statue back with the Queen Bee aura attached to it, and call it the Queen Monkey Bee, or something. You know, like a new decoration. All I want is a title known as the Deceiver. Ding, 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 fight. Do you realize you cut off the floating islands in the guild hall and there are not really clouds left to fix it? Actually, yes, I did realize that, and I was going to fix it, but then I never got around to it. What I was going to try and do is make a... Basically, I got rid of the clouds, anticipating that I was then going to make another cloud, like, pathway up there. But, then I decided I didn't like that idea. That was a lot of crap we just got there. Then I decided I didn't like that idea. We got to rank 4 in one game. And I was just going to make, like, a regular bridge there. Oh, why can't we accept our daily from within? That sucks. I was going to make a regular bridge there, but then I thought, oh no, but I like the gliding entrance. And then I guess I just forgot completely. You're more than welcome to... I've said this many times to many people. Anyone is welcome to delete whatever I have built in the guild hall. I'm not going to be fussed about it. Alright, so what we're going to do now is delete as many skins as we can. And we're going to talk about what happened with SAB here. Which really there's not too much to say, but we'll go for it. Where's an axe? Axe skin? There we go. I never got all the furniture shops on this character in the end. In fact, I got very little on this character. And so, a fitting reward. A fitting reward. Okay. That pistol we can sell. Let's head on through here. Alright, that's our daily done. So, okay, alright. So let's pretend just to start the stream. Welcome, guys, to another stream. Welcome to an episode of Zero to Hero. Much has changed. Much has happened here. First of all, the spring update came. So I want to talk about a couple of things with the spring update. Number one, dailies are now worth 2G each. 2G each! This is pretty good. This is going to help us quite a lot. It may be that I start logging in on this character outside of the streams from now on to do the daily each day. Because that's 14 gold a week for old rope. It's nothing. So that's pretty nice. And the dailies seem to be pretty comfortable. So that's one thing. The other thing is this little cheeky thing here, the level 80 boost. Your level 80 boost item is now available in your inventory to boost one of your characters directly to 80. How does this affect our view of the challenge? Well, in truth, it does affect it. Oh man, I love this. This is a cool torch. That's cool. I didn't know it glowed green. That's badass. I really like that. This actually does affect it quite a lot. Now, some of you guys are going to sit there and say, well, not everybody's going to have this perk. Or, this is only a one-time usage scenario. Why does it matter? Well, yeah, but if we're talking about new accounts and new people getting into raiding, or even if we're talking about people who have like level 80, the main demographic for this, I've always maintained and still maintain, is people who have level 80 characters and people who have experienced a lot of the game, but who now need to like class swap and make an entirely new character and get it raid ready, perhaps of a totally different armor class, because they don't have something that's meta or whatever. So they want to be guilt-free. That is the most common scenario people will look at the data we get from this. It's not about the entirely new, unfathomably, you know, terrible noobs that have only just started the game and suddenly have decided they want to raid. Like, that's just not practical. The reason we've started from an account of that stature is to just get the lowest bar in the best measure we can, the absolute worst case scenario. But so the level 80 boost actually does help people, doesn't it? If I have a level 80 thief, and thief is awful in raids at the moment, and I want to go and get a druid, can't I use the level 80 boost? I don't know. I think this is something to consider, because this does help people a lot. And you might say, well, this is only for people with Heart of Thorns. Raiding is only for people with Heart of Thorns. If you are raiding, you have a level 80 boost. Full stop. There is no distinction there. So I think it does mean something. Am I going to go back and make a new pole dropper and skip the first... I mean, what's our age right now? We're 142 hours in, and most of that is leveling. Am I gonna skip 100 hours of leveling? No. We're not gonna make a new character. Pole droppers go in the distance, but I think this is something to pay attention to. And it is true that it's only a one-time thing. And, you know, there is going to be a situation where someone's wasted their level 80 boost or used it for a different reason, and now they want to raid, and now they want to... Yeah, and they don't have it. So I think it's worth sticking about, but there's a discussion to be had. There you go. We just had it. What I'm going to do on this account here, I'm probably just going to leave it there, because we're not using any other characters, which means we're one inventory slot down, but whatever. A fitting reward. I really don't like the Norn lady's voice. I'm sorry to the voice actress for saying that, but I really don't like it. Alright. So what else is going on? There were those two changes. The patch also removed Super Adventure Box. About 2 days before SAB left, we did vote on getting an Ascended Weapon through SAB, and I went for it. The main problem, you notice when we started the stream with just a couple of silver. It's actually quite costly on the gold as well to do this, because you had to buy all the item frames. But I do have every single skin, just spammed loads and loads and loads of World 1-up, which eventually completed us a collection that... We want to deposit those. I want to get rid of those. And the baubles don't mean anything. I would spend those on coins, but I can't. I'm going to get rid of the armor booster and the strength booster and the karma booster and just delete those or pop them right now. I don't think we're ever going to care about them, so I'm just getting rid of them. Celebration booster we do want to keep. What else can I deposit? Food. The agony resistor, that's just going to keep stacking up when we go into a fractals in a second. That's our Kaiser Snake weapon box. So unfortunately that all appeared off stream. I don't think I did a single trib run in the end. I don't think I've shown a single trib run on my main account or this account on any video or any stream yet. But that was like a good chunk of my Guild Wars 2 playtime. A good chunk. I was actually quite impressed with the game last patch once I really started to focus on SAB. Because like doing all the tribulation runs and getting an SAB daily every day for the course load achievement and getting my PvP dailies at the same time as well. It suddenly felt like the day. I think that's the best that I've ever seen the daily system be. Ever. I'm not buttering that up. The daily system was supremely effective last patch. Well, that's a pretty sugary way for me to say that, but it's true. It's true. It was really good. We're going to get rid of the instant repair canister, put the baubles in there. We're going to delete these silverware shovels because I don't care about those. Alright, and now we're going to delete a bunch of skins. I'm tempted to keep the staff skin for when we, actually raid, but whatever. Okay, get rid of these. So if you guys missed it, basically what you did was you ran SAB in Tribulation mode, Zone 1, Zone 2, and Zone 3. Each of those, whenever you complete a level, you got a token, and then you combine those 3 tokens in the Mystic Forge with like a final token that represented the weapon you want, and it gave you the skin. And once you had every single skin... Oh, it's not even here anymore on my things. That sucks. Collections, rare collections, the King Toad. Once you have every single one, you get the Kaiser Snake weapon box. And there you go. Have I checked out fractals on my main? No, but we're about to do it on this character here. But you guys are about to vote on something as well. The rifle. Short bow. Get rid of it. Shield. Get rid of it. I actually really like these skins, you know. Scepter. Focus. Hammer. Great swords. King Toad's dagger. Longbow. And then there's the pistols. Alright. Now let's open these champ bags that we've got. Or maybe we should leave those. I think we should leave those. Also, salvaging was pretty major, so we're going to start doing that. Alright, so... Oh, this is so cool. You get so green and glowy. I want to make a character that, like, revolves around this. This is badass. Look at that. That's cool. Okay. So we get to choose one ascended weapon of our choosing. There's some discussion to be had here. Now, last stream, well, when we voted on doing this, the last Zero to Hero episode, when we voted on this, I said that what I really wanted to do was get like an offhand weapon or just like a one-handed weapon, and this way it it didn't feel so cheesy that we got a weapon from SAB. Actually, having done all the tribulation mode to get this, I don't feel like it's cheesy at all anymore. So my opinion has changed straight away. This was no small effort. It was no small effort. And so I do think that, you know, if I got a two-handed, so what? I got a two-handed. I actually think that, that's perfectly fine. However, what I'm thinking should be our primary motivator here is the disciplines. So we're going to need 3 weapons in total, I believe. I believe the builds are all going to have a staff on one set. So say we got the Ascended Staff, right? Then we're going to have on the other weapon set, we're going to need 2 more Ascended weapons to finish our build. We're going to need 2 of them. And this is where things get a bit tricky. Because if it's a staff, and then which is artificing, and then it's a sword, which is weaponsmithing, and then it's a warhorn, which is huntsman, that means we're going to have to level 2 different disciplines. We've skipped 1. We're going to have to level 2 anyway. So I kind of want to see what the druid builds are, and I want your guys' input on which weapon it is we choose to go for that would allow us to get it the cheapest and allow us to move on. Do you know what I mean? So let's have a look on meta battle first of all. You guys aren't going to see this. I don't have my monitors set up properly, I'm afraid. But I'm just going to go to meta battle very briefly, and I'm going to see what people think. Generally speaking, druids should be running. Now, don't forget, we're a clerics magi split druid. It makes me sad that if I type druid build, it just comes up with Diablo. Guild Wars 2 is not big enough to outweigh Diablo on Guild Wars 2. Oh, on Guild Wars 2 on Google. Oh well. All right, druid, glyph buffer, designed for dungeons. Well, let's not look at that. Let's just go meta battle, search by profession, and search by ranger. Okay. So we got raids. Axe torch conditions, offensive healer, raid healer, staff healer, or SAL sword axe longbow power. Alright, I'm guessing we don't want sword axe longbow. So is it the raid healer or the staff healer? Let's check raid healer first, shall we? Focused on support and utility. Build. This is just staff. This is literally just a staff. A single staff of transference and water with monk runes. You know, that would mean we wouldn't even have to go for a weapon. If you're going clerics, you're just staff. You could do the specialization collection for an easy one. What? Oh yeah, and we do have the specialization collection as well. It's 2 staffs for quick draw. Oh, so we do need 2 different staffs. You can't just have a single stave. Alright, that makes sense. So we do need 2 different ones. What was that? That was staff healer, was it? Or was that raid healer? Let me have a look. No, that was raid healer. So what's staff healer? It'd be funny if the build titled staff healer has less staves in its build. Yeah, it does. This one is staff longbow. Alright, so what do you guys think? Just give me an idea in chat. Should we pick a staff with this? It seems like we can't go wrong, right? The real Balloonicorn said armor's the most expensive anyway. Yeah, but we're not getting armor anyway. Armor doesn't factor into the conversation. They made the elite specialization weapons way easier to obtain because now it's easy to get the Heart of Thorns map currencies and you only need bronze. Yes, pick staff. Staff for sure, staff. Easiest is axe torques. You are just an axe main hand on one set and torch off hand in the other. Yeah, that's basically what we were doing here, actually, for a while. Alright, go for staff. That's what everybody likes the sound of. Okay, so we're going to get a Kaiser Snake staff. Alright. Yeah, because the idea is the most pug-friendly one is the one we want to do for your average person who's just starting out with raiding. Everyone starts with pugs, then they get the guilds, then they get the groups. So let's do it. So we'll get the Kaiser Snake staff, and then maybe we'll get our other staff from the elite collection, from the elite specialization, yeah. And then we have our double staff. MRO Drez said, does it have to be an Ascended Staff? You're not necessarily doing damage with it. That's true, but most people will care. Just because we're picking Druid, I don't think that that affords us to skip out. We do want this to have some reasonable... Is efficacy the correct word here? Some reasonable extrapolatability to other people's scenarios. Alright, let's go Staff then. Well, oh, I don't know, guys, though. So we're locking ourselves into the staff build if we do this. You know this, right? Because we're guaranteed an Ascended Staff from the Elite Specialization Collection, which is now much easier because of the spring patch. Maybe this is a decision we should just make later. Let's make the decision later. I've decided to go with that. Because maybe we'll get the staff from the Elite Specialization Collection and then decide at that point that we actually want a sword out of this box and then we'll craft a torch or something like that, or an axe and a torch. Do you get what I mean? Majestic said, don't worry, I'll fix the stairs later, I have some clouds. Thanks, dude. Do it because the staff looks cool. Well, we're not even going to be using that anyway. We're using Condi stuff. See, like, yeah, because Turtle Moji brings up a good point. You could go longbow staff. You wouldn't ever want double staff outside of raid, so we could pick the longbow in this box and the staff from the Elite Specialization Collection. So, and we're in no rush to pop it. It's nice to have the chat, though. That's one thing I wanted to do. Though we haven't opened the box, I do find value in what we just did on the stream here. It's worth that we had the talk. Okay. Alright, and moving on. We've wasted so many hours now just chatting. Well, hours. What am I talking about? Okay, so we're getting further on the Ascended weapons. So next we need the back piece. The back piece, we got both rings, we have both accessories, and we have the amulet. Back piece is the next thing. So the Heart of Thorns stuff again is quite easy for a back piece. Maybe? No, because that's you got to get all the Order of Whispers weapons or all of the Vigil or Magic. If we get... Okay, or we can go for a fractal back piece. So what do you guys want to do there? How hard is the fractal back piece to get? So if we have a look, this is what this really is now. It's figuring out exactly what route we want to take. It's kind of like we're in the theory craft at the moment, okay? So, rare collection. You got Spirit Smith, that's not Ascended. Armor chest. Kaiser Snake backpack. You could do Mordry. I think it's about 100 to 200 gold. Fractals is time consuming. You need about 1,850 total for the fractal back piece. First tier of the legendary backpack isn't too bad. The PvP one or the fractal one? Mordry is way cheaper now, apparently. Why is Mordry so much cheaper now? Do the first tier of the legendary. Yeah, the PvP back piece we can't do anyway because ranked. Sorry, guys, I'm looking at chat. Sorry, I'm looking at chat. That's why I'm not talking too much. What about a quiver? Well, see, this is what I was thinking as well. Because you can get the quiver of 1,000 arrows for vicious claws, which are now 38. So it would be a stack of those. So that's 100 gold as well, though, just like Mordry. Mordry requires Season 2. Do you have Season 2 on this account? I actually don't know. I don't think, maybe not. I might not have Season 2 on this account. Upgrades. Account bump. I might have Season 2 on this. If I download the game right now, do I get the 64-bit version or will I have to download that? You go to your account page and the 64-bit version is an alternate download there. The Quiver or there with Yakington are the cheapest. Oh, check in hero panel, obviously. Right, yeah. Living World Season 2. Oh, no, I have it. I have it. But is Mordry really great for us to go for? What do we need in Season 2 to get Mordru? I don't even know what we would need for that. Okay, hold on. I'm guessing it's this heart here at the Henge of Denravi we need to do. So let's do this while we talk. Just in case we go for Yggdrasil, which I think we will. I'm glad we never opened that box. The more I think about it, the more I think staff would have been a big mistake. Seems like it'd be faster to make some armor pieces that would make up more stats than the back piece. No, surely not. That's mental. No, I think let's keep it clear cut. Get all ascended trinkets, weapons, properly runed and sigiled weapons and armor, and leave it there. We don't have to muddy the waters. I think that would be kind of weird. No one's gonna look at this as a good like case study or something. If it's like, oh yeah, but he only had 5 ascended things. He didn't actually have the back piece, but then he did also have 1 armor piece, and then I don't know. Fractals are given really good drops since the new patch. Okay. For what? Like ascended armor? That could be like a bonus if we get any in fractals. So what are you guys saying? You want to get the fractal back piece? Thing is, I don't actually know. Where is the heart vendor we want? What was his name? Let's while we're at it here, by the way, let's go collection, specialization, and let's actually track that. Yggdrasil, and then we'll find... We buy this from Adem Finlay in Brisbane Wildlands. I expected him to be a heart vendor, but now I'm thinking he's probably not. Let's sell this crap as well. Oh, we already did. Oops. I was going to start with that. I'll check this heart guy here. Do you need agony resist for the back piece? No, we don't need agony resist. Search more during the wiki. There's a full mysterial list in the end of the page. Is there a value on it as well? People are saying fractal back piece is the cheapest by far. The first fractal back piece is very easy to get and ascended. Oh, he is a heart vendor, but I just guess it's not the heart Henge of Denravi. Why do you want to get a torch or an axe if you're going Magi or Cleric? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that we might want... I think the main thing I'm saying is we might want a longbow. Well, no, not even that. The main thing I'm saying is there's no point in choosing that as a staff right now. There is no point, and we should keep our options open. That's all. I got my first back piece from the spinal thing in Lion's Arch. How long ago was that? That was a while ago. Alright. People are saying because of the patch, Fractals is really good. Let's go into Fractals then. Let's do that. Though I didn't have a build in PvP earlier, I do have one here. So if anybody on EU, this is your chance to play, EU people. We've spent a lot of time on NA recently. If you would like to play with us here, we'll deal with the Yggdrasil Elite Specialization Collection later. Let's do the backpack phase for now. Let's backpack it up. Just join on me. My name in-game is Poledropper. My account is Issa1865. It's not going to appear on the stream because there's already all that text there with the donating thing, and I don't quite know how I want to set it up. So we're going to go in. Yeah, someone said go for longbow. You can't go wrong with longbow. I don't know what the fastest farm is or anything like this, but I'm going to go for daily at the very least. So we're going to turn that off, I guess. And we're going to turn that off as well. So they're first recommending scale 11, so that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, just join on, guys. Oh, this is cool. Lots of people wanted to come. Try again, because we're in a different party now. There we go. Again, this is only EU. There we go. So, Urban Battleground. He's not that good anyways. No, I'm not very good on this Condi Ranger. No way. I mean, we did put the Sun Spirit on, which was cool. Alright, in we go. Mordry is the cheapest right now by far if you want an infused back piece for higher fractals. What? Why? Can people start giving, like, sources for what they're saying? Why do we have, like, some people saying that the fractal back piece is super cheap and other people saying that Mordry is the cheapest? WP, what do you do really in Guild Wars 2? I have quit because the game is just garbage. I think, by the way, I have a 35,000 gold account. Great, dude. That's awesome. That's really badass. The main thing I've been doing in game at the moment is decorating in the guild hall. Again, past couple of days, lots of that been going on. Aside from that, I did a dungeon run. I'm thinking of World vs. World. I did scribing yesterday. That was mostly on stream though. What else? Not too much else. I've been doing this. It's not like I play all day, every day. I haven't done that for a while. How do you have so much gold if you think it's garbage? Well, because Mummy's credit card was on the table, and I know her PIN, and I put all their monies in, and then I have money in the game. Something like that, maybe. Oh, it's only a scale 11. Oh, I'm so bad. I don't know why I'm stood in the fire. Well, no, I do know why I'm stood in the fire, because I'm on a point-blank AoE combi build, and there's nothing I can do about the burning oil up there, so I just sort of charged it. Guys, I poured 10k hours into this game, it's so garbage. Yeah, but that's what happens with MMO players. That's, you know, like, we can't joke about it too much, because MMO players do that. They'll play 11,000 hours of a game, and then the last few hours, the last like 200 hours or a couple of patches will just upset them. And then they'll rag on it because they don't want anybody else to be playing it because they no longer find joy in it. I don't know where the mentality comes from. Matt and I were actually talking about it in one of our Hyperlight Drifter videos. I think it's got to be based in the fact that MMOs straddle this line. MMOs aren't like regular games in that a regular game people understand as a product that can end. And a movie and a TV show and a book, they are things with endings. And they are okay if they have endings. MMOs are stuck in this weird place that because they're well reputed for being consistently updated games and people leave communities behind when they choose to quit them, there's kind of this like logic and there's this element to MMOs that you don't find anywhere else, where it feels like you have to play it forever. And if at any point the MMO loses you, ever, at any point, when that day comes, it's a bad game, and you have to say it's a bad game. It's not allowed to be a good game and an MMO and something you no longer play. That doesn't exist. If there's an MMO you're not playing, it's because it's a bad game. I think that's the thing with MMOs. It's really interesting. You know, there's like these YouTube channels where like they try and dive into the science of like, you know, basic gaming related stuff. There's like quite a few channels that do that. What I find more interesting is like looking at the psychology of communities, and I think that's one of the more interesting when it comes to games. I think that's one of the more interesting things to think about, you know. You may have loved your wife for years. She may have even given you kids, but now she's gone and a bitch. Yeah, no, I see that. It's heartbreak, man. That's what it is. I don't know. I think it's just a lot of people find you find a reason for why you leave. Hey, Smelly Dog 316, welcome. Okay, so Turtle Moji said Mordry has its own infusing recipe, but if you're not going for the infused back piece, Fractal's Ascended one is cheapest to obtain, not just not to infuse. Well, that's fine. I don't care about the infusions. So Fractal's is good. Are we all clear with that? Anybody got any disagreements there? Let us know in chat. But otherwise, I think we're okay. I don't like physics, but I just have a PhD in theoretical physics. Thinking about doing barrister jobs at Starbucks. Oh, I thought that was going to be, you know, that super lame joke. I have a theoretical degree. Alright, so people are still talking. Looking at the wiki, Mordry costs about 115 gold plus 1,800 bloodstone dust. And miscellaneous stuff. Eric's84 says, with the infusion slot, where are you going to put your queen bee? Without the infusion slot, where are you going to put your queen bee? Without the... I don't really know what that means. I guess the first thing to point out, though, is this account isn't the account that owns the bee. The bee is on my main account. This is a totally different fresh account. So yeah, it's not quite the same. I want to pick this flower. I really want to do Chuka and Champawat as well. I really do. So many people. What is going on with it? Like, really? Really, I think you can look on Reddit right now, and there's another person who's like, oh my god, it was amazing. It felt like a real adventure and a real quest, and I want to see this in Living World. So I understand why they got rid of the team. Comments like that are really intriguing me. Guys, maybe we should just go a short bow build and get the new legendary for Zero to Hero. No, we're Condi right now, but we're not going to be Condi in raids. That's the difference. WP, do you predict a Guild Wars 3 within the next 5 years? No, I do not. I mean, you try and give me some reasons for why you think a Guild Wars 3 will happen, and I'll give you some reasons for why I think it won't happen. We can do a back and forth on that. But, I think all that ArenaNet really learned with Guild Wars 2... No, not all that they learned. I think one of the biggest things that ArenaNet learned going to Guild Wars 2 is how difficult it is to make an MMO. And there is no way they are bringing it all on themselves again. I think it should be quite telling that Blizzard cancelled their Titan project. That maybe there's not just good money in MMO development anymore. But hey, maybe that's me. And maybe that's just because they're of their unique position in also running in already running an MMO, so they're just cannibalizing their own audience. I understand that. Jesus Christ, this guy's getting burnt out hard. Well, mind you, the only times I do this lately is on higher scales and like solo or duo. So. Or has tended to be. So what exactly are we focusing on for the back piece? Just getting a bunch of relics. We got 181 right now. How many do we need? Alright, anyway, that's daily. So they want scale 7 as well. That's recommended. Which is Cliffside. Which is all new and updated as well. So you get to experience this, guys. You've heard me talk about it in a video. You've read it in the patch notes. Now you can watch it for yourself. This guy's offline, the Austin Powers. Did he not run with us at all before? Did he DC? Oh, I should probably sell. No. No. Oh. We got a few. It's 1,850. That's going to take a while. I'm close to finishing Nevermore now, and I found the collection to be generally boring, and in particular areas to just revolve around having to buy some gold for things. Well, here's the thing. Aren't they... well, maybe not the Heart of Thorns ones, and maybe not this newest one, but isn't it structured such that it's like you get a fun collection of exploration and finding stuff, then a money collection, then a fun collection, then a money collection? Isn't that how they've done it? So when people say, oh, I enjoy the collections, I think we can just kind of exclude the 2 and the 4, which are just money. And, you know, talk about the merits of the 1 and the 3 specifically. I'll look at chat again in a second. If I try right now, I'm going to run off the edge and look like a dumbass. Just focus on good gameplay first of all, shall we? That's all that matters. WP, do you think the Guild Wars 2 engine limits or will limit what the devs can do with the game? Absolutely. I think every engine for every game that has ever been developed has limited its developers. Every platform for every game. Like, I talked to you guys about a Let's Play I was watching, a Ratchet & Clank developer commentary Let's Play. And like 99% of what those devs talk about is the tricks they had to use to keep everything in memory. And to keep frame rate high. and you know, not to go have like fill rate issues. I think that's going to be an eternal problem for development for years and years and years and years to come, until we have quantum computers. Anyway, you were probably looking for something a bit more specific than that. You were probably talking about, you know, the fact that we're still stuck on DirectX 9, and the fact that the server-side stuff with the game seems to be a bit folly. One thing I'll add on all of that is, funnily enough, I mentioned I've been doing a lot of Guildhall stuff. I've actually started crashing out of our Guildhall fairly frequently at the moment. And I think it's literally just because of the size and the amount of the decorations that we've put around there. I've started crashing out of it. And this is slightly off topic, but on that note, I'm actually kind of happy to see that I'm crashing out. And it's not because I enjoy the process of crashing, don't get me wrong. It's not that. The reason I'm kind of happy to see that I'm crashing out is it's kind of confirmation of knowing that ArenaNet have really pushed those decoration caps to their limit. You know? There's a really strict local cap in there. There's a really strict global cap in there. These have seriously inhibited creativity and how great these features can be. They seriously have. These are engine limitations that have punished one of the best features that could have been of Heart of Thorns. And it's easy to get mad at the devs and be like, oh, they need to increase the cap. I've said it a million times myself, mad at the devs. Oh, they need to increase the cap. The cap needs to be way higher. I don't care how it happens, it needs to be higher. It just feels like ArenaNet have been stingy. But the fact that I'm crashing out of the Guildhall right now kind of tells me something, that the engine really is very unstable. And they already have pushed the limits of those caps as far as they're willing to. They've already pushed it to a place where people are going to start crashing out high up. They've already been as very liberal with their caps. And it's kind of heartening to see that. Right? This is all just nonsense that I've just, you know, presumed based on what I can see. But, you know, it's kind of interesting. Anyway, so yeah, well, Guild Wars 3 should have happened because of this engine limitation. Should have happened because we want an actual open world game. Should have happened because we want better graphics and better optimization and better culling and so on and so on and so on. All those reasons I just gave, I do not think are enough to motivate ArenaNet to build a new one. I mean, we've heard that they're still working on mega servers. I wonder what that means. Does that mean that there is still more they can squeeze out of this engine? Another cool argument, another nice discussion for building a new MMO comes when you look at like old design that affects new design. Old ideas that they had for the game, old and specifically when it comes to economies, this is quite big. A great example that I always like to look back at is the launch of Guild Wars 2. They wanted their idea of exotic gear. You know, the absolute highest tier gear was not a major bump up from the tier below it, that being rare. I mean, from our perspective now as players it is, but I think in general it's not. But they wanted it to be really rare. But their game was huge and unwieldy, and they didn't know how easy exotics were going to be to get in some places. And then they were like, oh well, crap, we've got exotic is not the tier we want it to be. We've got to add another one, Ascended. They get all the backlash for it. Ascended is now being sort of hammered into systems that it was never really supposed to be. Look at how bloated and complicated the gathering of Agony Resist is now. And you know, this happens all over the place. Look at Masteries, right? And the mastery system, maybe they got a lot of things wrong with the mastery system, but they're really hard to fix now. They're really hard to go back. That happens all over the place with MMOs, and little bits, another little knife stabbed to the chest, another, that slowly contributes to the MMO getting disorganized and bloated, and you know, losing its direction and its purpose, and it makes devs struggle. And, you know, when you look at something like that, over 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, eventually you're going to want to draw a line in the sand, and you're going to want to say, let's build a new MMO. And I say all of this, there was actually a really cool post from someone on my most recent Q&A. I'll read it out to you guys. I really did like the post. The person who wrote it probably is going to have no idea I talked about it on stream. I'm not really going to add anything to his comment anyway. Just that I support what he said. Yeah, if you guys want to fill up this last slot after that person got kicked, you're more than welcome to. Here we go. Hold on. Just finding it. It was on this topic, and he was talking about World of Warcraft. So, for those of you guys that don't know, back on April 1st, I did a joke video where I was doing a Q&A, and I just randomly had WoW footage in the background. It got people talking about WoW on my video. And on the most recent Q&A, in response to that, I said, yeah, I was, and I've said this on the stream before, I was kind of surprised when I played World of Warcraft. I was in the Worgen starting zone. As a new player, I didn't really appreciate the fact that this was, you know, not as high quality as the newest races starting zone or whatever. But I was kind of surprised that WoW is as big as it is, because it didn't feel as polished and as awesome and as, you know, clunk-free as I actually expected of Blizzard, having spent a lot of time in the Hearthstone community and, you know, just knowing how titanic this friggin' MMO was. So I was expecting a lot and I didn't get a lot, and I mentioned that on the Q&A. Anyway, this guy responded. D. Kessler. He says, and I'll try and read it as I play here. He says, I almost didn't post this at all, since one of the last things the internet needs is more opinions on the subject of World of Warcraft. But I've always loved the game, so I can't resist. He says, your comments on the game, WP. Hold on, here we go. Your comments on the game, feeling less polished than you expected. Oh, have these stopped now? Do they stop when everyone gets on there? That's interesting. Your comments on the game, feeling less polished than you expected, reminded me of something I've spent a lot of time thinking about recently, which is that WoW is increasingly burdened with legacy artifacts. Some of these are game systems that players see, some of these are under the hood that we don't see, and some are expectations or attitudes in the community. He says you can feel it in the way that the characters and NPCs move around the game world, even as those characters and the world itself continue to get visual upgrades. You can see it in the multitude of game systems or mechanics that introduced in one expansion, then were scrapped or partially scrapped or simply abandoned as the devs iterated on systems or even drastically changed their design goals or philosophy for various aspects of the game. You can also see it in the now very long list of things which, according to the community consensus, WoW must have always had, even when it's not necessarily for the good of the game or a good iteration on a particular feature. He says most of this stuff is a natural result of the devs' admirable willingness. Sorry guys, I know the gameplay's bad, it's really hard to read, it's on the other monitor. Admirable willingness to always continue iterating on their game, trying to make it better and add more ways to play. But it nevertheless is a problem, and one which can only grow. A lot of this is stuff they can address somewhat as they go, but it seems like a bit like plugging leaks in a dam. At some point, the problem will get too large to contain. I've basically just been using my heal skill here and trying to favour the best condition damage skills I know. Oh god, we didn't wipe all of those. This is fun. Oh, this is the new mechanics as well, and I'm not even showing them off very well. So he's got a break bar and so on. Alright, we're almost at the end of the post. Like plugging leaks in a dam. At some point, the problem will get too large to contain. However, long before we are all buried under legacy systems and code in WoW, we can feel the effects of these artifacts and community expectations or traditional features weighing on the game and little by little restricting the available development space. In fact, I believe we've been feeling this effect for years already. To a certain extent, we can attribute this to the perception that WoW can feel uninspired in recent years. The unfortunate thing about this is there's no real good solution I can see. Somehow, eventually, Blizzard will not be able to press the reset button on all of this if they want to continue the franchise. This means either WoW 2, which has all the transition problems long-time Guild Wars players are familiar with, only to a much greater extent, since WoW is a much larger and more complicated game and world than GW1 ever was, or it means rebuilding the game from the ground up on the back end, which only solves part of the problem and means a huge amount of work for almost zero visible product. After all that pessimism, I think it bears saying that despite all its many problems, WoW is fun. It just is. When I manage to shake off my burnout, there's nothing that sucks me in and gives me that I can't stop playing feeling the way that World of Warcraft does. So, really cool post, don't you guys think? Like, one of the most well-articulated, thought-out, intelligent posts I've had on a comment for a while. Not to say I don't get a lot of those, because I think I do get a lot of those. It was a very cool post. Here's the bit where I find out that I missed like loads of cool loot in there because I was just looking at the other place. All right, next is... All right, so it recommends a couple of dailies, and then what's it saying? It wants me to do tiers. So it wants me to do a tier 2 molten boss, which is scale 26. Hey, and we're at personal fractal 25, so let's do 25 and then 26, and that's another daily. Cool. But the general sentiment that person there shares, I stand with for Guild Wars 2, and I think you're already seeing this idea. These legacy artifacts, I absolutely think, are already slipping through the cracks of Guild Wars 2 and have been for a while. Because especially Arena have been very wild with their ideas for this game and the ways that they can continue to support this game through life. They've been very wild. Just look at like I really think Ascended Gear is such a good thing to look at. Like, look at the crazy inconsistencies and crap all over the place with Ascended trinkets, right? And their abundance and it's like, what, do they delete some of these really bizarrely statted old rings? Oh, sorry, this is still an 8. Sorry, I messed that up. And, you know, look at the fact we don't have parity between all the disciplines that exist. There's a lot you can look at. Today's video is literally me talking about personal instances, the home instances, and how the home instance is absolutely nothing like what they originally intended it to be. And it's just sort of leftover design. WP, you have to do the new Legendary Short Blow collection. It's mind-blowing amazing. Mind-blowing amazing. How is this true? I've got to check it out. You're right. All right, let's do a 25 and then 26. WP, remember that doing the higher tiers gives you the lower tiers? Oh, I remember, but I don't want to skip because I want to experience all the instabilities and really see how it feels to climb. I know most players won't, but I want to, just for personal satisfaction. Not for any crazy reason associated with anything else. I just want to see what cool they're all like. And we got to do a bunch anyway, right? I need to get used to the way my weapon swap trait's going to work. I really do. All right, ready? So what we're going to do is we're going to weapon swap, bonfire, and then we're done. I should get rid of this sword as well. Apparently it's the baby tigers, that's what people like about it. Well, we shall see. It's a shame it's a short bow, it really is, like, Alright, well, I'm fucked. How about we... Oh, but we don't have any ascended gear to equip. We'll see how this goes. I mean, we're kind of getting carried here. Yeah, I need AR, but if I go for AR, we're gonna have to equip our healing stuff. I mean, we can. I'll do that after this run. I'll go to my bank and equip the healing stuff after this run. We've got to wait for her to lose her stacks. So people that don't know how this boss fight works, I've never, ever taught people how this works, so why not? This is the kind of thing streams are cool for. You got this guy here, Horik. He alternates between 2 types of ammunition. Regular explosive ammo, and then there's lightning ammo. The lightning ammo, if Mitrin's in it, it reduces stacks on her shield here, Captain's shield. If she has 10 stacks, she takes 100% reduced damage and no condition damage, i.e. she's invulnerable. But as she loses stacks of that, as Horik accidentally hurts her with his electricity ammo, you can start damaging her and start applying conditions and stuff. That's what's happening here. Mitrin blinks around. She will blink periodically to the furthest player away. So what you want to do is, like, bait her, basically. So electricity is going to be here, so then you want to stand in there so that she blinks into it. Generally speaking, pugs are quite terrible at Mitrin, and they just spam it around for ages until eventually they get lucky with it. She inflicts massive condition damage after she blinks in. Really want to pull her over here. As a ranger, I need to be careful with my pet's positioning because it can mess up the aggro. But basically, whoever has Horic aggro kind of wants to stand furthest away, but I don't quite know how it works. So it's like over here. See, we got lucky and she went in it there and she lost a stack. So now she's got no stacks and we can damage her like normal. And we're going to trigger another phase of the fight in a second. There you go. So she teleports away and so does Horic. And then all these Aether Blades. Oh no, and then Horic on the edges. Oh no, they are Aether Blades. Yeah, I thought they were. Horic plus 2 Aether Blades. I thought they were all Aether Blades. Is going to start firing these and it becomes like a bullet hell. You need to survive. They'll apply agony and do a lot of damage if you get hit with them. Generally speaking, the players all want to spread out. You used to be able to stealth and just, you wouldn't be responsible for any fire coming into the room. So you used to have like one person hide in one corner and the rest of the team all SR together. I don't know whether that's possible anymore. And you've got to survive for as long as possible. Usually on Ellie, I bring a ton of invulns and an earth shield for people to pick up and stuff like that. This is the kind of thing that when they start rebalancing the way that fractals scale, this is the kind of thing they'll rebalance as well, where I think you'll see a lot more cannon fire come in. So there she blinked to me, as you can see. So you want to stand near her so that Horic uses his electricity on her. There you go. And then just sort of put her. Now the electricity will hurt us as well. See that there? I tried to stand in it because she was blinking at me. And reduce more of her stacks. This is a fun fight, by the way. You can mitigate my Trin's blink attack with like dagger 2 on the Ellie. It's a lot of fun. Oh, she's out of stacks. All right. She seems to be losing stacks very quickly. I think I almost got my Sun Spirit killed instantly. All right. Swap on fire. Good. We got it, guys. We did it. Love the Drake attack. We have such crappy pets as well. Such crappy pets. And she faces again. So we have to do 3 of these. And as you can imagine, it's very hard to res people during this phase. Oh yeah, so there you go. Horic reveals stealth now. WP, best advice for getting into raids? Pick a good build for pugs on meta battle. Learn it. Use it well. Go to LFG. Join pugs. At the end of that pug run, don't just, you know, stick your middle finger up and shout "K Sarah Sarah." Actually say to people, "Hey, do you wanna run together next week? Do you wanna do stuff?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, sure, right." What you probably find is if you're pugging raids, you might find like 3 other people, all guildies or something, are doing it together. Ah, we got agonied. Oh, we just about survived it. There you go, they're back down. Now, if you kill Horic, I think a good example of just bad design, just like unintelligent, foolish design in Guild Wars 2 is Horic in this battle. I'd love to talk to a dev and hear their justifications for why Horic works the way it works. But no, sorry, she blinked it to me. I messed that up. She lost my stacks. But you might notice you can damage Horic. But why would you ever want to do that? If you kill Horic, he just comes back. Because he has to be there to put down the lightning floors to damage my Trin. Like, there is no reason for him to be here at all. He's just like and it's just weird to me. I wish that if they've made it so you can damage him, so I wish they'd actually made it him a mechanic. Do you know what I mean? Right, she's gonna blink in a second. So usually what you're watching for here, oh, I thought that was a lightning. My bad. So I'm the furthest away, so you'll see she comes to me in a second. Hopefully, no, and Horic's lightning's there as well. So we want to move in. There, she's coming to me. Ah, what? What happened there? I was nowhere near her. What? That was weird. I'll let Horic get me early on. So you notice we do a tiny amount of damage, but we're on a Condi build as well, so like we're really not going to do. Next one's lightning. Someone said, "Hi, have you got your Queen Bee back? If you won't be getting it back, we have a spare one in our bank." Wow, that's really nice of you, but that's okay. The Queen Bee is a personal funds thing, and I've never accepted personal donations in the Guild Wars team. I really appreciate that, but if support says no, then support says no, and I'll just cry and probably quit the game. But I'll be happy with it, I swear. Alright. She's low enough we can start actually doing some damage. I guess we could res this guy again. It's not an error, it's just making it harder, and in addition there's an achievement for that. What do you mean? Are you talking about why kill Horik? Yeah, I mean just attaching an achievement to it though. I don't know, maybe that is valuable enough justification for a single achievement people do once ever, sure. Maybe that is enough. That's a good example of the more you play, the more you dislike things or forget things. Like, you know, for your super active fractal player who comes in and does their fractals every day and does this fight over and over and over again, they get the achievement once and then they just fixate on the fact that Horik is now a useless mechanic and then they don't see the value in him anymore. And suddenly it's not enough that there's an achievement there. That's a good little example of as time goes by. Again, we talked about that in the Q&A. WP, what's the B thing for? I did a video yesterday. It's only like 2 minutes long, but where I submitted a ticket to ArenaNet support because I lost my Queen Bee. Well, she went in it, just a little bit too late. And the event actually was captured on the stream yesterday. There you go, that's lightning. That's good, that's good, that's good. Don't have her leave. Excellent. Nice. The patch is really good. Honestly, the patch is really good. There was a Reddit thread where someone said, congratulations, update successful, all game modes now feel rewarding. And they do feel a bit better. I can't talk too much about World vs. World, but I've not heard too much sadness. And looking at the queues and stuff last night, it seemed like people did like it. There you go, Fractal Frequenter, 30 out of 30. Alright, next one's the next daily. So we can do that. Oh my god. Game. Let's pop the... Let's deposit that. Oh, we've got Echo Vowed Forest music going on right now. Listen to this. I love that. I love that little sweet note that comes in there. It's so good. Man. I miss you, Cantha. Come back. Come back to me. Sorry for holding everyone up there. Sorry. Jesus, I'd get kicked out of any other group. I'm torn between Ranger and Guardian. Any advice? The Ranger changes look awesome. How are the Dragon Hunter changes? I couldn't tell you either of that. You're just going to have to ask chat because neither of them are classes that I'm particularly smart with. Echo Vowed Forest. Mitrin ship was headed to Cantha for her escape. Confirmed. That's a great tinfoil hat. I like it. That's cool. Sign me up. I'm game for that. Alright, suggestion AR-18 it says. Okay. So people might start to hate us a little bit now. Because we're going to start using clerics. But let's see what we got. Let's go back. We'll make it work. We'll figure it out. Watching WP always makes me want to come back. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, why don't you buy a new account? Buy Heartthorn's link down down below. WP, what's the best reason to come back to Guild Wars? To be honest with you, I'm not gonna sing it's well, okay. Again, I really shouldn't speak on behalf of the World vs. World community. But I'm about to. Because, hey, going on the internet and talking about things you have no understanding of. Where's the fun if you don't do that, right? I'm going to delete this. Why would I want... Oh, wait, that's got an agony slot on it. Why? That's mental. Whatever. I'm getting rid of it. It's only a defensive slot. Okay. So we're now doing a lot less Condi damage. Let's make no mistake. We're not butting up. Our build is worse now, but we're not gonna die to agony. So that's important. Let's deposit. We will get those back. We'll definitely use those in like regular running around Heart of Thorns and stuff. That we can deposit. We don't care about either. Some of this other stuff I should open up. Like this. All three of those. All of this. That's... Oh my god. Alright, okay. Well, while we vendor all this stuff, and just before we go in and do an unselling. Alright, here's a reason to come back. Heart of Thorns added a lot of elite specializations that, in theory, could have spiced up World vs. World gameplay to make it feel different, potentially more fun, more varied than it had before. So if you haven't World vs. Worlded since before Heart of Thorns, there's a big difference in there now, especially if you actually own the expansion. And hey, guess what? You can actually play some of that stuff too. So that's one big, just innate mix-up that's happened to that format, right? On its own. That could add some fun. And when you see the old Borderlands rotate back in, there's that. Heart of Thorns also added a lot of new ways for guilds to interact with World vs. World and play in World vs. World and claim ownership of places in World vs. World and upgrade things and activate perks and cool stuff. It added a lot of that stuff. But the problem was, as I've increasingly come to find, especially like with the scribing stream yesterday, the problem is that stuff was all really hard to access, and communities didn't have the resources they needed. It took people a long time to build their war rooms up. And because of all that progression, it was gated behind. At the launch of Heart of Thorns, none of these features really had time to flourish. Do you know what I'm going to do as well? I'm going to buy some bags. I think I am. We're going to invest our daily to buy some bigger bags. We're going to go for that in a second. So that kind of stuff didn't really end up too well. The elite specializations also, they weren't as well balanced back at the release of Heart of Thorns as they are now. They're better balanced. And then World vs. World kind of died, right? Like there were problems with the new Borderlands. The geography, the layout, the way that some of its events functioned. Feedback that the devs had from the player base but hadn't listened to until now. And now, matchmaking's reset, worlds are linked, the population is back, and all these things that were added at Heart of Thorns that could have been good, actually now can be. I would guess that playing Heart of Thorns World vs. World now, today, now that all the matchmaking's been reset and there's all that population there and the guilds have already got their war rooms and they've had time to build up, you know, their Doliacs and their perks and stuff. Now, and now that you've got the better squad UI is actually fully in there. Don't forget, even squad UI wasn't actually there when the new Borderlands and stuff went in. A lot of stuff wasn't there. Now we've got that. And you can even assign people as like scouts in your squad and stuff. All that stuff actually has all like come in at once now. So when we're talking about World vs. World and when we're talking about Heart of Thorns, it's kind of like this patch was World vs. World has been added to Heart of Thorns kind of thing. It's like this is the patch where actually all of those features now can maybe shine. Now, I've not gone in there and experienced it, and I don't know how much worse it is or better it is than before the patch. But actually, I think that game type now has got a lot to fight for. And especially with the constant comments from the devs now talking about how the next World vs. World updates are going to be faster, more frequently coming in. I don't know. I think that there's a lot of good to be seen in that there. So you ask me, hey, what's a reason to come back to Guild Wars 2? Maybe that reason could be World vs. World. I just pulled a really iffy face there, but yeah, maybe. Oh yeah, and there's another reason. You can get a level 80 of any class you like. Gives you a nice big bag, somebody said just there. There you go. Instant level 80. More specifically, you can now tell a friend or a member of your family, hey, do you want to try this MMO with me? You don't even have to level in it anymore. There's a boost if you buy the expansion. Or even better, there's a boost if you buy the game. Because that's basically what it is. It's not really a concept of buying an expansion. It's just buying the game, no longer being a free-to-play account. That's cool. If you do that, check out the link. Oh my god, they've already finished the fractal. Alright guys, give me 1 second. I'm sorry everyone. One moment. I was just clearing out my bags because this is going to be a nightmare if we're struggling with this forever. I hate blade shards, by the way. They're the worst thing in the world. Slot. Jesus Christ, we got 19 gold. 19 gold! That's mental. What have we got? We've got 8 slot bags at the moment. So if we could go up to like 15 slot is over a gold though. Ugh. Let's go to 12 slots. Yeah? And we got what? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2G upgrade there. There you go. Invest in our daily. What did I say? What did I say? And then we go compact. Unequip. Equip. Unequip. Equip. Unequip. Equip. Unequip. Equip. Then, will these TP for anything? 50 copper each. Yeah, alright. Never mind. I mean, we'll vendor those. We'll just vendor those. Alright, I'm coming in, guys. I'm coming back. Coming back. Someone said candy corn cobs for 20 slot bags. Why is someone screaming no? Why in chat? It's 2G. It's a daily. It's not like a huge mistake. Someone said booster. I'm not using the booster. No, what? For a single bag? Are you joking? Rip pole droppers gold. Guys, chill. I can't easily invite you to the... Oh, I can easily invite you to the Spud Club. Yeah, just whisper pole dropper. What was I doing? Candy, corn, cob. I think these are really expensive still. Like 4 gold each. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not spending 4... I'm not spending... however much that is. 16 gold? I'm not spending 16 gold on inventory space. No, we've got bigger fish to fry than that. WP, do you think the orange stab weapon will go up in price? I got a box and I'm on the fence about selling it now for a legendary. I didn't know you could sell the box. Oh, the skin's within. I don't know. Yeah, it will go up in price. Absolutely. Absolutely it will. Especially the warhorns. WP, did you hear for support about your back piece? No, not yet. WP, where was that? Do you think it would be best if ArenaNet would mostly be transparent with everything they do with complete honesty, two-way dialogues, or Mike's, let's not talk about anything we ship? Mike's, let's not talk about anything until we ship it. I think obviously there's a middle ground. There's a medium you want to hit. We're just going to stay on Harpoon here so we can keep using the piranhas. There's a middle ground. But no, I do not believe that a company should spend its time trying to have a two-way dialogue with a bunch of uninformed and, you know, like a massive community filled with a wild variation of different people with different backgrounds and education investments in the game. I don't think that that's something that companies should waste their time trying to do. It's not a very nice opinion of mine. People wouldn't like me if I was a game developer. No way. I question the value of feedback quite heavily. I actually think that your consumer, generally speaking, and I can only say this as my experience has having worked a couple of IT jobs, I think that the community can best be used as a guide to not go wrong, rather than, you know, some crazy idea of a two-way dialogue. And I don't believe everyone's opinion is equal either. Who was the stand-up comedian I watched? I can only say from my experiences there, but generally speaking, I don't feel that the consumer is often well-equipped to teach you what they really want. Especially here on YouTube and content creation and stuff. So, I don't know. I just think it's a fool's game to try and play that. To try and, you know, if ArenaNet's, they will never satisfy people. The main thing that people are satisfied with is content and updates. I think that the community can best be used as a guide to not go wrong, rather than, you know, some crazy idea of a two-way dialogue. And I don't believe everyone's opinion is equal either. Who was the stand-up comedian I watched? I watched a clip of a stand-up comedian a couple of months ago, and they were so right about it. There's like this thing, like it's a joke about basically how on the news these days, I think it was Dara O'Brien. I think he did a skit on it. He did a little bit of stand-up on it, and it's basically the idea that you know, people will be talking about you know, some new vaccine that's just come out that allegedly has all these drawbacks or whatever. And so they'll go on the news on this topic, and they'll bring some people on to talk about it, the community on to talk about it. And, you know, first of all, they'll bring on a scientist who has actually worked in the vaccine and actually understands what's going on and gives a level-headed response about it. And then they'll just turn to the other side and they'll say, also whose opinion is equally valid, here's Billy, the 9-year-old child, and you know, the person will be like, no, it's wrong, and like we're expected to believe everyone's opinion is equally valid. I don't believe just because you gave ArenaNet money, you necessarily have a valid opinion for the direction of the game. And I say that fully understanding that blows back on myself too. Right? That's not me being a hypocrite saying I should be able to give direction on the game and you shouldn't. That's not me saying that. That's me saying the consumer doesn't always know best, and often they don't. And if you're trying to have a huge two-way dialogue with the community, you're on one hand going to have some, like, insane super nerd who spends 20,000 hours in the game, has, like, an 18-hour-a-day playtime average since launch, who has lost all perspective of what's good for the game. Not all perspective, who's lost some perspective for what's good of the game. And on the other hand, you're going to have, you know, the guy that's on only his 50th hour ever, and that's been over, like, 3 months of real playtime. But he made his account at launch, and so he sits there on a forum and says, I've played since launch, and this is what I think. These two people's opinions are not equal, and ArenaNet can't vet and verify every opinion they ever... It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. So no, I don't believe that two-way dialogue across everywhere. It's just a rabbit hole that you'll never get enough feedback. You will never listen to enough feedback. You will never... I mean, what is your aim trying to accomplish that? Because you'll never accomplish it. I'm sorry. Don't get me running. Complete uncategorized fractal at scale 26 or higher. Didn't we just do that? Did we miss it? No, we didn't do uncategorized. That was Aquatic Ruins. Oh, 26 is where the tier starts, I guess. So what it actually wants me to do is the uncategorized fractal. This one at 44. Oh no, 36. All right, so it's 36. Let's try jumping ahead to 36. Let's go on in. Someone asked for a Spud Club invite. Welcome, welcome. Herder, I encounter this kind of guy so much, WP. Herder, I played since launch, has 900 AP. Even better, I played since alpha. Yeah, you know, it's not about those extreme scenarios, though. It's really not, though I just ranted myself into that corner. By the way, if anybody wants to invite themselves, you're more than welcome to. It's not about those extreme cases. I just think it is... community relations. It's more about PR and fostering goodwill in your community than actually getting respectable feedback, in my opinion. You know, if Heart of Thorns was bad because some high-profile guy that had all this responsibility and capability to do a certain part of the game just upped and left and decided, screw you guys, I'm off, right? Let's say this happens, and it just screws over an entire wing of the expansion's development. Let's say this happened. ArenaNet being absolutely candid and forthright and saying this is what happened, it might sound, on a superficial level, it might sound, yeah, you know, if that's what happened, you know, mistakes happen. Unfortunate things like that happen. But then, what if they say it again? Because it does happen again. Like, I think a lot of people don't quite... people aren't as level-headed as you are. Yeah, you. Listen to me right now, yeah? You. There are people far less level-headed than you. And, unfortunately, I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Is this why we can't have nice things? I don't know. What do you guys think? You keep talking about the special legendary bow collection. Are you talking about the miniature? No. What do you mean? I haven't done it. Yeah, you. You right there. It's like, I don't know. I don't think... Because my opinion of ArenaNet right now, I guess to put some more value on my perspective here, my opinion of ArenaNet is they're already too forthright about what they say. They already give us way too much information. Already far too frequently I'm hearing people using specific game developers' names as ammunition against the company. You know? I'm seeing complete twats and wankers and assholes that think they have any understanding of game development or how people conduct themselves in a professional workplace, looking at the Twitters of developers and bitching about, you know, the people that they follow, and this is the reason why the story's gone down here and stuff like I'm just seeing like the most unbelievable stuff. You know, and people will do that based on just a name. You know, it proves to me that people really don't know what the hell they're talking about. The amount of comments I see where people are like, you know, and I'm not being mean to anyone who said this. There might be some of you in chat right now who have said something like this, and I'm not being mean. It's not a personal thing. I'm not trying to call you out or anything or saying you're a bad person. So please don't be offended, all right? I think you're awesome. But I've had so many people say to me, "Hey, WP, do you think there's a chance that Colin Johansson was a terrible game director? Because think about it. The game was, like, literally on my Q&A right now, there's a question on there right now. Somebody said this. And he's not the only one. There have been loads of people who've said this. Isn't it kind of funny? We had a huge content drought, and then we had an expansion, then we had a huge content drought, and all the updates were really crappy. And the second Colin leaves, all of a sudden everything's amazing. So just the fact that a lot of you guys are saying that, right? Just the fact that a lot of you guys are saying that tells me that it does ArenaNet no good being openly transparent. It does no good. Because I think there's a very, 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 very high chance that most of this patch was put in the can and the ideas behind it were all, you know, headed off and well understood and worked on by Colin. While Colin, if you think that the true effects we have seen of Mike being game director have already been seen by us, the community, as opposed to Colin, I think you're just a long, long, long way away from understanding the way that the world actually works and how long development takes. And I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say it because I don't work there either. Maybe this really was all Mike. Maybe this was all Mo. But I just think, you know, like, what good does it do that we, the community, have this information that Mike's now game director? What good does it do? It just makes people think they're more informed than they are, I guess, is my point. I don't see good come of it. I see bad come of it. I see people jump to the craziest of conclusions. Like I was in. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. Anyway, yeah. Okay, I'll get on stage. Woo, bless me. But yeah. So just on the general prospect of, you know, I like what Mike says. I like it. I like the simplicity. I think it gives the devs clarity and space. And I think what does matter in the end, right? Does all the talk matter in the end? Not really. What matters is the purchase. Wax says, Colin was Satan, game can be good now. Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess you're right. So yeah, again, like I don't, and that is such a common sentiment. I feel very, I feel like I have to be very clear to people there. I'm not trying to judge you. If like I understand the logic if you'll jump into that conclusion that, you know, all of a sudden Colin must have been bad. I just think things aren't that simple. Cryon Studio says, I agree, WP. A bit of a personal opinion of mine though would be to add that I actually prefer overly transparent companies like Warframe and GW2 than how Blizzard and Activision handle their PR, which is absolute silence. See, I find Blizzard is so interesting to look at in so many ways. To look at the way that their community functions. What I've noticed, specifically with Blizzard, but with many games where their communities just understand they have silent developers, right? Is if a really bad change goes into Guild Wars 2, right? If a really bad change goes into Guild Wars 2, what you often see with us lot, on our forums, on our videos, on our streams, people are talking about the company. I'm doing it right now. I'm talking about ArenaNet, right? You don't see that with Blizzard, though. Blizzard just very recently announced a bunch of nerfs for a bunch of cards for Hearthstone. Right, I'm not going to go into the nerfs. It's just not really about that. Anyway, one of these nerfs was considered by many to have been an over nerf, to have been outrageous. Like, they basically destroyed one of the rogue cards. And so, where does the people who then take to the discussion on this, there's a little back and forth discussion about, oh yeah, you know, maybe this card was limited in design space, though. Maybe now they can actually implement much better rogue weapons. Maybe we'll see, you know, that's been, you know, one of the suckiest things for rogues for a long time now. So maybe there's been a little bit of that. But mostly, if people are talking about how it's an over nerf, they'll just be like, oh my god, this card is broken now. Oh, this card sucks now. Oh, this guy, and they'll talk about it doesn't go any further than that. Right, it's like, oh, this card got completely broke. But if that happens in Guild Wars 2, I hope I'm articulating this well enough. In Guild Wars 2, it's not that, alright? In Guild Wars 2, it's, oh, ArenaNet don't know what the fuck they're doing. Why did ArenaNet nerf this card? Insert dev name is a moron. Or on the other hand, if good stuff happens as well, oh, you know, Mike must be a good game director, and so on. So it's like we're so much more involved because that door's open. It completely changes. It's a subtle thing. Maybe it's not fair for me to say it completely changes anything. It's a subtle thing, but it's a thing. And you can see it. We talk about the company so much. And in general, I'm just saying, if I was working in the games industry, I wouldn't want that. Hell no. It's my game. You don't even know what you like. Someone said, nah, WP Blizzard got their share of flame for Warlords. Alright, no, I'm not saying that the Blizzard community believes Blizzard is infallible. I'm not saying that. I get why it sounds like I'm saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I just think that people in Blizzard games are so used now to not getting a response. You know, like again, Blizzard will release a bunch of new like Ben Broden Co. They'll release a bunch of new Hearthstone cards designs before they come out, and they'll straight up be like, or a nerf before it happens. Everyone in that community knows there is zero chance anything they say will actually change what they've decided. They just know that there's no chance, so that door isn't open, so people don't focus on it so much. It's well understood that, you know, the jokes will be there. Oh, Blizzard doesn't care about giving you more deck slots. They just want their money, or, you know, or whatever, right? The jokes are there, and people are douches about Blizzard, right? It's a big faceless company, but people don't fixate on it so much, because that's just the fact. That's just the way they design things. That's just how it is. You know? Hopefully that makes sense. Again, I'm not saying I think that people think that Blizzard's infallible. And this isn't also me saying that the Guild Wars 2 community complains more than other communities. It's not. It's just I'm saying that there is a fixation here with the developer. And I think that fixation has come because of ArenaNet's kind-hearted and good-willed desires to interface with their community more than other game developers do. And this is me, Wooden Potato, saying that as lovely and as nice as that is, that ArenaNet do that, I don't see how much good comes of it. Oh, come on. The bloom is, or the lens flare is pretty outrageous on this, I must say. Also, we've not been playing with a nice new clean UI. Okay. WP, it's just that Hearthstone is an overall decent game. It's in WoW and Diablo where Outcry continues. All right, that's fair enough because I haven't looked enough at those videos, at those titles. You're right. You're right. I'm sure there's a hell of a lot of complaining, and maybe it is directed at specific devs, and maybe it is, maybe there is a lot of people assuming they know what's going on behind closed doors. I guess maybe there is a lot of that, and I'm just not aware of it. I can totally see that. I think CD Projekt Red is one of the light with communication with fans too. One of the few developers who actually listen to fans who give them money. Yeah, CD, those guys have fostered a lot of goodwill with their games. First of all, they make fucking fantastic games. But second of all, for a long time, they've been like, yeah, we are the champions of PC gaming. We care about PC gaming. We care about DRM issues, and, you know, like, they foster a lot of goodwill from their stances. And they make incredible experiences of that, too. And, yeah, their patches do seem to be very specifically targeted at what was wrong with their games after they come out. CD Projekt Red is what all AAA companies used to be like pre-2009 or so. That's really interesting. Cryon Studio. I don't mean to be rude. How old are you? I'm curious about that, because I was not that involved in video gaming, and I mean, I played games, but, you know, I was at school. I didn't have time to, you know, I know a lot more about gaming these days than I did back then. So I genuinely don't know how it was pre-2009. So if you turn around and say, oh yeah, I'm like in my 40s or I'm in my 50s, I was well aware of this back then. That would be really cool. Oh, you're 20, almost 21. See, so I don't know, man. How can you say that? I suppose you could have been super involved as a young teenager. By the way, Blood and Wine DLC is coming soon. They say this expansion has another 20 to 30 hours of content. You want an invite to the Spud Club? That's totally fine. What can't I see last online there? That was weird. Let's see. Let's kick. I hate kicking spuds, man. I hate kicking spuds. Someone came to the stream yesterday and was like, "Why did I lose my rank?" I feel bad. There you go. No, I'm not in my 30s. No. I'm not. I'm not the intelligent, wizened old man I act to be. Alright, what have we got now? Tier 2 Molten Boss. I think that's about as high as we're going to be able to go, though. And then I'll have to start slotting Agony Resisting. So, let's do this daily. So, it's Fractal Scale 40, it says. Just a couple higher. Let's move in. I'm actually a 7-year-old, yeah. I was 1 year old when I made my first Guild Wars, well, yeah, Guild Wars video, YouTube video. I was 1 year old. Riot Games is also really open to the community and it works fine. I'm sorry, but I find the League community to be one of the most toxic, asshole-ish communities out there. I don't know what exactly is fine about there. What I hate most is when people try to bash John Smith because they don't understand the importance of an economy in MMOs. Foreman, I've got to say, I feel like I'd be a hypocrite if I start singling out individual devs myself. But I do think that, yes, he doesn't need people to fight for him or whatever, right? Like, don't get me wrong. I'm sure he's a big man and he can handle himself. But I absolutely agree with you that he gets a lot of shit thrown in his face, and unjustifiably so. He gets a lot of crap. And often I've agreed with his decisions. Brian said YouTube used to be really small, so I'd get lots of views. That's interesting. You might have more competition on YouTube now, but you also have a much bigger audience now. You might have got unlucky with your recent videos in that you get less views on your recent ones than you do on your old ones. But honestly, and this isn't just me saying this as a successful-ish YouTuber, you genuinely can get views a lot easier on YouTube these days than you could before, because there's just such a bigger installed user base there now. And yeah, you've got more competition, but YouTube as a platform is still growing. And it's a lot of international growth at the moment. Actually, one of the main things I'm trying to do at the moment to sort of improve the videos is appeal to international audiences a bit better. We'll see if it ever happens. The League community is, but Riot as a company is fair to its players in most cases. Well, so what are we talking about now? Are we talking about company policy when it comes to interfacing with communities? Are we talking about the actual quality of the company itself? Are we talking about the quality of the community? I'm not quite sure where the discussion's gone. This is great. This is excellent. I'm enjoying getting carried. Oh, the friggin' agony's still on while I was defeated. Let's do the cutscene, boys. Yeah, it's funny that people are watching the stream more today. This is a good example of the game doing better. There's about twice as many people watching today's stream as we have recently, and it's probably just because of the patch. Like, literally. Type a 1 in chat if you're only watching at the moment because the patch came out and you're a little bit more interested in the game. The thing is, most people who are in that position and watching right now, they've probably not been in chat, and they're probably, like, just lurking a little more. But I guarantee you that most of it is that. There'll be a lot of people doing that. WP start making videos in German confirmed. Sort of? Oh, I didn't dodge it. Just don't res me. Just let it be done. Oh, see, there you go. We got a few ones. See? Does that mean... Look, if you guys... If there's so many of you there because of that, if you guys have got more questions about the patches, let me know. I mean, this is kind of the patch we're watching right now. We're seeing the new fractal daily system that's in place. WP, since you asked, I'm curious as well. When did you get involved with gaming and following gaming companies? Probably when I was around 19, 18, 19. The first company I really started following a lot of was Bungie. I think Bungie, looking back, did very well to foster a good good community. Back when they were in charge of Halo 2, 3, and then to a lesser extent Reach. I used to spend a lot of time on their boards, on their forums, reading developer blog posts. After that, I got kind of tied up a bit more with like the indie scene. Mostly, and this was around as Minecraft was blowing up. But Frictional Games as well. Frictional Games, these were the guys that did the Penumbra series, Amnesia. I used to read a lot that Frictional put out, and I learned quite a lot about indie deving and stuff there. Not saying I know a lot even to this day, but... Then I started watching like a lot of YouTube and variety gaming content on YouTube. And, you know, you hear a bit more. The thing with me was I sort of missed out on some of the big... I was never really a Blizzard fanboy or anything. I never really played any Blizzard game in my life, really. Hearthstone is the one I played the most, and even then I haven't played very much of it. Oh my god, I suck! You might think that's because of the agony I was dead the whole time there, so it's excusable, but it's really not. It's really not. I would have been dead anyway if that was just like a scale 50 and I had a load of agony resistance. Or under the old system. I also followed Dear Esther a lot. Before Dear Esther came out, when it was just a mod, and when the dev was just sort of posting, and before even the idea for it to be sold, I used to read a lot about that. But yeah, that was really as it started. And then it was YouTubers that I used to watch, kind of helped me out a bit. And of course, throughout this entire period of time, I'd been playing Guild Wars. But I was never really that, I was never really that much at the head of... Like, Guild Wars was a game I played, but it wasn't something I was that crazy about. For example, Nightfall, I think, I only got Nightfall 5 or 6 months after it came out. I was an active player of the game, and I had been, but I just wasn't playing it at the time. And then I got stuck at the end of Nightfall in the Gate of Madness mission, and I didn't play for like ages. So these here are level 100 Artificer. So I wonder how we can level our Artificing to get to the point where we can combine them ourselves. That would be nice. Or maybe we should just... screw it. It's not like we need the XP or anything. Let's sell those. So it's recommending about 45 already. Really? 45. Oh, that's sell. Whoops. I was wondering why it wasn't showing up. So plus 3s. So what would we... Dude, that's really high. I don't know about this. I don't know how much I want to spend on getting agony to get to the backpack. Also, when can we start opening our boxes with the mastery? Is it after this, is it? Yeah, Wax said you just described so many of my experiences with Guild Wars 1. I played Nightfall and then got stuck at the Gates of Madness and yeah, that's exactly what happened to me. I got stuck and I just quit for like ages, like months and months and months. Oh, we DC'd. Did we DC from the stream and stuff? No. I quit for ages. That's the way I used to play. I used to play a lot and then I'd go off and play other games, and then I'd play a lot and then I'd go off and play other games. And then when Guild Wars 2 came out, I'm still basically the same, except I just swap what my main focus is in the game. You need a total of 150 AR to get the back piece. That's not true, is it? That's just what I need to get to scale 100, isn't it? I started by buying the +5 infusions, ramp them up to +7, and combine them on that island you can only access with the mastery. Someone said our character is ugly. How dare you? My 5-year-old niece is asking, is your potato belly bigger than your potato head? It is indeed. I need to do a scale 100 for the back piece. Can't I just get carried through that? I don't understand. What am I doing? Is it a collection? I don't even know how I'm getting it anymore. Target identified. Oh, Silk Road Online. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, are we talking about the legendary back piece or what? What is going on with it? Like, for realsies. Wow, that dev command is wooden penis potatoes. That's hilarious. Yeah, I don't need the legendary back piece. I just want the ascended one. Alright, I'll have to look at it on another stream. We're going to close this off in a second here, guys. There are so many dailies to get. Alright. Well, look, I will look at the AR. I'll combine it together. That's just going to be boring inventory management stuff. So, I'll leave it there, guys. It's now 6 PM. I've got a lot more to do for today. But yeah, thanks very much for watching. Another episode of Zero to Hero. I just want to say, I know that the patch is all exciting and stuff for all of you guys, and we will be doing plenty more stuff. However, tomorrow, we're going back to Nightfall, and we're going to continue that. Do be there. If not, I've got the VODs going up on Wood and Potatoes too. It's been great to see you all. Hope you all get in there, have some fun, and I'll see you very shortly. I've got a video going up pretty soon. So have a great evening, everybody. Great day, great night, whatever time it is. And until next time, I'll see you later.